Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin H TV and Diecast Lab, Rockin H Farm Toys and all that good stuff. Hey, it is Saturday here in the first good Saturday of January, and today I want to make a four-door Peterbilt out of diecast. This has been on my bucket list for a long time. I get different guys, they'll say, hey, why don't you just make that out of, why don't you 3D print it or do something like that? And you know, I just get a lot of satisfaction out of making them out of diecast, so that's what we're doing. And what we're going to do first is I'll take you on a little tour because I've done a number of four-door trucks. So we're going to take a look at them real quick. So here is, wow, I think I need to dust these. Holy cow. So here's one of the first four-doors I made. Actually, this over here is one of the first four-doors I made right there. I made a couple of these. So that is an M2 by Speccast Freightliner. And that was the first four doors I've ever made. Then I followed it up with this bad boy here. I made this one out of two DCP Kenworth trucks. And then what else? We've got this one over here. Hey, Corey's here. All right, good to see you from Australia. I got this four door here. This is out of two top shelf replicas 4300 Internationals. Here's another International, two diecast trucks from Speccast. And then what else do we have? I made a 359 once, but I don't have that one anymore. It was for a client. And then here's another top shelf replicas Ford. They're L9000s, that diecast Ford, four-door. So I got a few of them, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of making them. I just think they're fun, and I've been wanting to do this 379 Peterbilt for a long time, so here we are, right? So the inspiration actually came from Harvester in Burlington, Colorado. On the thumbnail I'll post on this video afterward, there's an actual four-door, it's a 359, not a 379, but a guy out in Burlington, Colorado, he's a custom harvester. I actually met the guy and got to go in his shop. He needed a four-door and he wanted 359, so he custom made his own truck. You know, put the new roof and married two cabs together. Looked like a pretty handy guy. And then he also has a 379. So, hi from Tennessee. Hello, Campbell Farms. Thanks for watching. So he made a 379 and 359 and then 379. 379, I think it was, maybe it was two 359s, I don't recall. But anyway, he made two four-door Peterbilts. One of them he sold to a custom harvester out in Colorado. It is Open A Lazy E Custom Harvesting. And Rockhaven Customs, Clint Thomerson, good to see you. But anyway, so they bought one of his trucks, and then they ended up selling it, so it's running around someplace. I don't know where it's at. But anyways, he's still got one of the originals that he made. So that's kind of cool. And right, so what we're going to do here, I'm waiting for YouTube to kind of do its magic, and we're going to let it do its thing here. We'll get going at 1 o'clock straight up. So in the meantime, as we kind of wait for everyone to get in the house, if you've got questions about anything I'm doing, please feel free to ask. Now's a good time because I may not see all your comments once we get to working. Right, so I guess what I will show you right away though, I am working on, this is something I've just been daydreaming about for a long time. Here's an M2C60. And that is going to get a 20-foot bed. This is a stake type bed that I had 3D printed. It comes in the standard version. I think these were what, 48 inches or 52, I don't recall. And then I got another version. It's got the 12-inch extension that was really popular on this era of truck bed. Let me see here. I'm gonna go back to the comments quick. Oh. Let me see if I can see the comments. Doggone it. Glad I'm working out the comments now. There we go. What trucks am I using? I'm using two Diecast Promotions Peterbilt 379s. So that's the truck that I have on hand, so that's what we're using. Michael's here. Good to see you, Michael. Done some work for you, because you got some really cool Mac end dumps. Those were pretty sharp. Those were fun to do. I'd never worked with one of those before. Campbell's saying, hey, he wants to see him. Here they are, right here. This is just the cab part. Vaughn is in the house. Good to see you, Vaughn. Yeah, so I've got two of these. I would tell you, when I get into this, I'll tell you what not to do, and what not to do is use one of these cabs. Oh well. But that's, whatever. We can work that. I may even have a cab plug. I don't know. I used to keep a bunch of cab plugs because back in the day, this was a while ago. Back in the day, Diecast Promotions trucks, Peterbilts, only came with a big gaping hole in the back. Now they come in they come with the window in them, so you can take the sleeper off and have a day cab, which is really nice. This, while I think their intent was pretty decent, you can at least, if you're a customizer, you can go ahead and pull a sleeper off. Now you got a day cab rather than that. But back in the day, there was a laser cut kit where you put a piece of styrene in there and you just bought them there like $8 or something. And then you painted it whatever color and then stuck it in and that's how you made your day cab. I used to keep those on hand, but I don't anymore because Diecast Promotions changed the Pete's, and that's dandy. I guess I don't have any. I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure I don't. Oh well. No worries. We got about 12:58 here in Dodge City, so we're gonna wait just a few more minutes, 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna get to cracking. Again, if you got questions, now is an awesome time to ask. Awesome time to ask questions. What else? Let me see. I got everything set up, so we are ready to rock and roll as soon as it gets to 1 o'clock. Let me see. If there's another guy on Instagram. Oh, let me see. Let's stop here. Rockhaven's Customs ask, how do I heat my shop? Okay. Levi's here. Good to see you, Levi. Right there. That thing heats my shop. So what I normally do is use that propane heater just to get it warm, and then I've got a little space heater over here that keeps it warm once I get it up to temperature. Right now it's 70 degrees, and when I walked in here a couple hours ago, it was 34. Campbell Farms asks, are you going to the show in Indiana? Nope, but I will be in St. Louis on for the Gateway Farm Toy Show. At the moment, I'm in room 118, and I'm really trying to get into the second floor. So we'll see what happens. Okay. What do you have for DCP shoe trucks? I think you want show trucks. I actually don't have any show trucks. I can show you all the DCPs I have, except for 1, 2 I have in my office at work. And let me see, how many do I have on the shelf here? I got, holy crap, I've only got 2. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 DCP trucks on my shelf. That's all I own. Oh, well, wait. No, those are all top shelf replicas. Yeah. I've got this DCP right here. It's not a show truck. And then I have this one. And then I have this custom. Oh, well, wait. Here's one. There's another DCP. And there's that one. Oh, and I take that. Okay, I kind of forgot about these. There's 3 of these for internationals. I forgot those are DCP. And then I've got, and there's another 4-door. Forgot about that one. Okay, so that's all the show. I'm not a big show truck guy. Like lower down and outlaw fenders and all that kind of stuff. That's really not my game. I don't really care for those. So, whatever. Okay. Corey is asking, he's coming over in April and May. Is there any toy shows? Yeah, you'll have to look around, Corey. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I only go to 3 a year. I go to one next Saturday in Lamar, Colorado. I go to mine at the end of the month. And then I go to the Gateway Farm Toy Show, and that's about it. Okay, we got a couple more questions and we got to get rolling. Levi says they are just so darn expensive, especially, yeah, that's why it's good to do it yourself and learn how to do DIY some of that stuff. Oh, and then we'll get to two more questions here. Kyler says, hello back, Kyler. Kyler Scale Models. And then Rex, are you taking any of that to sell at St. Louis? Everything I'm taking to sell at St. Louis is right here on my wall. Everything in my store on my website, rockinhfarmtoys.com, will be at St. Louis. I found that the 3D stuff, it sells the best, and then I don't have to do any work. Okay, one other comment here. It's Gateway Mid-America. I'm going to be there because, oh, there you go. Well, I have to wish you happy birthday if we say hi. Okay, we need to get rolling because it's now 1:02 and I like to start on time. So, hey everyone, it's Eric with Rockin H TV. Today we're going to make a 4-door 379 Peterbilt right here. We're going to use two Diecast Promotions cabs. I've had guys say, Eric, why do you bother making these out of Diecast? Why don't you 3D print the cab? Well, as I was mentioning in kind of the 10 minutes before while we gathered up, I just get a lot of satisfaction out of making these out of Diecast. They're just kind of, for me, they're just kind of fun. I don't make very many of them. Well, I only make one or two, and they're usually for me. One to learn on, and one to keep. So that's normally how I operate. So, what more can I tell you? I think we just need to get to work. You will need a Dremel or some sort of cutting tool. You'll need a file, or you'll need a file to do this, or sandpaper, or a sander. You can use power tools, that's fine. So you'll need a cutting device. You'll need something to take Diecast off, even up your ends. You're going to need some glue. This is, you'll just need some glue. That is Maxicure Extra Thick. This is what I use exclusively. You'll need some glue. You're going to need some JB Weld or JB Quick or something. And what else? You need some tape, which you'll see in a minute. I will show you an optional way to do this with a piece of brass. And what else do you need? Probably some gloves to hold your diecast when we get really hot. All right. So, yeah, I've got a practice model already in progress. I did that in about 30, 45 minutes before we gathered up here. So I started that right around, was it 10 after 12 when I came out here, and then I've got it where I kind of sort of want it. It took about 50 minutes, 45 minutes to do. So it's really, this is not a hard project. It's just going to take you some time, and it's going to take you some money, because you guys know how costly these things can be, just the cabs. So there will be a little expense in the process. So here we go. All right. I'm going to move my little holder around. We're going to switch you over and point you down. So if you've got volume on your phone, you might turn it down because this is going to get noisy. See, got my safety glasses here. So the first thing I did when I made my practice model was on the front cab, you really don't have to do anything to it. So we're going to take these and put them together like so, right? So really all the work you're going to do is to the back cab. Now this does imply that you are buying one that does have an open sleeper on it like this. Okay, so that way if you look through the windshield, you can see a walkway through to the back of the cab, right? Right. So do try to find one like this. Now you can do it if it's got a window in it and you don't want to cut a big hole in the lead cab. That's perfectly fine. You can use it. There's no harm in that. But this one was one I had on hand, and it works very well. So really all the work we're going to do is to the back cab. Okay? What we have to do is get a pointer. We got to cut these off right here. Got to cut these off. On both cabs, we need to take this little tab right here, and we need to shorten that, and I'll show you why in a bit. And then we are going to make a cut here. We're going to cut this whole firewall out on both sides. Oops, sorry about that. There you go. So we're going to cut the firewall out, right? So this piece of die cast here is all coming out. Then we need to take our Dremel and cut the cab here and here all the way back to the rear wall. Okay, so we're not going to cut through the rear wall. We're just going to cut up to it with our Dremel, and then you'll see why we do that in a little bit. Well, I'll just show you real quick. You can see how the cab tapers toward the front. Okay, so we got to take all that out. We got to make sure we can make this cab right here wider. So that's why we're going to cut the roof here. And then I'll show you an optional way to accomplish a roof cap. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do the roof cap. Okay. All right. So now is when it's going to get kind of noisy. Plug your ears. Off we go. All right, there we have it, guys. This is basically about 50% done right now. And all we did was spend about 10 minutes with our Dremel or less. It probably wasn't even that much. Oh, it wasn't even 10 minutes. Okay, so this is kind of Yeah, it's pretty hot. So I'm going to just let it chillax right there for a few moments and just let it cool off to where I can touch it again. You'll notice we took out a big, wow, and that's still pretty warm. Took out a big chunk of die-cast here. Well, I guess we'll just let that sit there. Anyways, took out a big chunk of die-cast here, cut off these parts of the cab. So now you can see that this thing has a higher probability it's going to set level. And then only thing we haven't done yet is we need to just knock this piece off right here. We'll get to that with my sander because it will just be a load faster. So we'll do that then. While that thing's cooling off, what we'll do is I'm going to show you my practice model. This is practice right here. And I'm going to reposition my camera just so I can see any comments that might come up. And I'm going to just check the comments real quick. Okay. All right. So practice needs more attention, but that's okay. That's why it's practice. So this is what I've done so far. This is the first way that you can do one of these four-door trucks. What you'll notice here is, just like on the previous model, I cut, I sliced the roof. That way we could spread this out and made it up to the front cab. You see that? So we got some pretty decent lines right here. Not perfect, but they're really, really good. I'm pleased with the first shot out of the gate. Then I took my fancy glue right here, and I took that and I glued the roof cap on the lead truck, or the lead cab. Then I temporarily glued these two pieces together. Then I glued this piece of brass on the roof as a roof cap, and it is just glued with regular glue for temporary purposes. Then I went and took JB Weld on the inside here, and then JB welded the whole thing. And then you'll notice that I wrapped everything with tape, right? Why would I wrap it with tape? Okay, I wrapped it with tape because now if you look, I put JB Weld on the inside, and the tape made a nice flat line right here. Basically, its purpose is to reduce the amount of sanding we're going to do later. So you can see that here the JB Weld kind of splooged out the side there. Not a problem. We can make that better when we go back to sand. We'll take some body filler, fill in this line, fill in all these lines, and make all of that nice, neat, and clean. So that's what we've done here. So what I did on this cab was I cut the roof clear out and replaced it with an oversized piece of brass bar. I'll come back with the Dremel and I'll clean up these edges and make the roof cap, this new roof cap, nice and beautiful. So that is way number one to create this cab. So we'll have a little bit of body work here. Well, it's not too bad. We do need to come in here and fill in these holes where the mirrors went. You'll notice I filled in some holes where the exhaust was on both sides. We had exhaust here. Those two holes, those are gone. I got a little carried away and filled in these, which maybe I'll leave, maybe I won't, I don't know. I went ahead and filled in this window just because. You don't have to. This is optional. You can fill in the window if you like. But I went ahead and filled this one in just for fun. And then we'll have body filler on both sides, and then fill in these holes. And then I'll probably put a piece of styrene on top of this brass once I get this first batch of JB Weld sanded off, because you'll notice this roof cap right here is taller than this piece of brass. And I didn't have any thicker brass on hand, or I would have just obviously put a bigger, thicker piece of brass in there. So what I'll do is I'll put a piece of plastic styrene in here and then body fill the whole thing again and sand it smooth. So it should turn out pretty nice. I'm fairly confident this is going to be all right. Okay, let's see where we're at with this bad boy. Okay, now it's where we can handle it. Next, you'll need a super flat surface for this next bit of work. Actually, getting ahead of myself, we can't do that yet. We need to go to the sander real fast and do some sanding. Let's see if I can put you up here. No, that's not going to work. So you're going to have to be back here. All right. And safety glasses, just because I've only got two eyes now and I keep them both. Get a little hot. Here's one thing that you're going to have to do as well. And what I was doing here on the front is, let me show you on the other model on practice here. You'll notice on practice, let me get you some light too. Let's do that. There, now you can see. You'll notice on practice right here, these are the holes where the breathers went on this rear cab. Okay? So you'll notice, I don't want a big distance between this door, the door seam right here, and the back of this cab. I mean, I don't want a big gap in there. That would be really up to you how wide this, how far back the door is from, how big the space is between these two doors. That would be entirely up to you. I kind of prefer to have it closer than farther apart, so you'll notice I took quite a bit of die cast off with the sander on this rear cab, okay? And I've already taken some off of this cab. I'm going to take a little more. Probably not as much as I did on the lead or on practice here. But just be prepared, I'm going to take a little more off there. And it's now cool enough that I can handle it again. Okay, I think I'm liking what we got here. So you can see that's going to be the distance. That'll be my gap between the doors. All right, let's just move over here where we can chat. I can point the camera correctly. Okay, there we go. So, we've done a couple of things here. One, I came in with the sander and I cleaned up some edges on the inside of this. So I cleaned up, man, that's just not working, is it? So I cleaned up this edge right here. Okay, so all that's nice and tidy. Much better on the inside here. I wanted that to happen. I'll take out that little burr. There we go. On both sides. So all of that is just nice and tidy on the inside. Two, we took off a bunch of die cast off the front end of this cab where the firewall was. And that's going to give us a nice gap between the two cabs. And you'll notice it's different than this one. oh, there's probably a whole nother 16th maybe of an inch of die cast on this model I'm making now compared to practice. Okay, our next big project is going to be, we got to spread out these doors or these walls here so it will mate up to our lead cab. Now the reason I have my handy dandy vise out is because it's super flat, it's perfect. And what it accomplishes is now I can set both of these down on this, and then when I go to marry these together, they'll be level all the way across. So you could use anything that's super flat. If you have a piece of old masonite formica, or this is just a piece of old flooring, laminate flooring, you could do the same thing, accomplishes the same task. So whatever you have at your house, use that. Don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff that you don't need, especially if you're only making one model. All right, so here's where we got to do a little bit of fabbing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to start just gently spreading these apart. And I kind of have my thumb over here on this corner here because I really don't want to bend this back wall. You'll notice that's pretty narrow, not a whole lot keeping these two together anymore. I really don't want to bend that, so I'm being gentle here, trying to bend just the die cast. Okay, so you'll notice we got quite a bit of gap right there, don't we? Look at that. Okay, let's see if we got this where it'll work. Okay. Well, I don't know how I'm going to show this to you well here on the camera. Let's try it this way. I got them just a wee bit wide. They're just a hair wide, and that's okay. I'd prefer to have them just a teensy bit wide than too narrow, because we can always bring them back together. But that is a really nice go. That is okay, baby. All right. One other thing, I sanded this down a little bit. You can see here I sanded this down, and that is so everything sits flat on my vise. Okay, let's take a look here. Another thing you'll want to just double check, get you a square, set that in there, and make sure that, just a second, got to get this where I can show you. All right, whoops. Come here, you silly duck. Dadgum. All right, let's try it this way. Easy for me to say. This isn't working. Okay, there. Holy crap, that almost made me mad. Actually, not really. Okay, I can't point to it, but you can see right there at the top of that square where it meets the top of the cab, there's just a hair of gap. Just a hair of gap. Okay? You may not be able to see it very well from your point of view, but I can see. There, you can see it right there. See that space between the top of the cab and the top of that ruler? I want to take that out. So what that requires me to do here is I'm going to grab the cab up high. Well, I'm going to just tweak this just a little bit. I'm going to bend that dude out. I'm not working very hard here. I'm working hard enough to get it to move, but not move a lot. And the reason for that is, man, how did I do that? You would think I'd know what I was doing at this point. Okay. There, can we see? There, you can see it. See how I took that space out of there? That is much better. Okay? There's probably, oh, I know what the problem, okay. Between the ruler and this, this window post right here, there's a little space, but guess what? We have these rivets that show the space. So, not a big deal. Let's go to the other side. Okay, again. Whoop, there it is, there it is. Ha, you can see it. Look at that. So, I'm going to go and tweak the top of this one as well. Okay. I had to do this on practice also. Okay. Maybe just a wee bit more. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. A little more. A little more. Let's try that. Let's hold it correctly, Eric. Okay. Well, we could probably bend on that just a taste more. That's really, really close. I think I'm going to leave it. That's really not too bad. I think I'm going to be happy with that. All right, now for the fun part. Okay. Boy, that all feels really nice. I like what we got cooking here. This is cool. All right, we're good. Okay, I showed you one way to do the roof cap. Here's one way to do the roof cap with a piece of brass. Here's another way to do a roof cap. And I gotta kill my heater. Holy cow. It's 72 in here. Just right, I could put on my shorts. This is way number 2 to put your roof cap on. Reuse the 2 roof caps you have. So, just fix them. If they snap into place, there we go, snapped, boing. And then we'll replace this one. And then I'll show you how we're gonna make all this look fantastic in a bit. And when we're done, uh-oh, that's right, I forgot that's gonna happen. I forgot about that, okay. So what we'll have to do here is take our Dremel and see this line right here. We gotta remove that on both sides. Okay, safety glasses on, yahoo. Yeah, let's see what we got. Now, at this point, you don't want to be handling this real hard because you don't want to go back and bend any of the good work you just did. So we're just going to handle this a bit gently, just because we can. All right, I like it. Yeah. So this is way number 2 to fix your roof. So everything is going to be gorgeous in a bit. And then I'm going to show you how this all is going to tie together shortly. Okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and splash a little bit of glue on the inside to keep our roof cap on. Put some there because we can, and it's okay, and it cost us nothing. We're there. We're going to do that. And we're going to do this one. A little bit of glue on the inside of that. You can put glue ahead of the roof cap if that suits you. If it makes you feel fancy, then do that. I'm going to go ahead and turn my vise here so you can see better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, next. I'm going to dry fit one more time to make sure I haven't mucked anything up. Dry fit, and am I overjoyed? You bet I am. Holy cow, I love this. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and take our super glue. Now remember, we're not pouring concrete here. We're just doing a temporary fix. Not fixed, I don't know what I'm trying to say. We're going to do a temporary fix here. Okay? We're going to pour concrete shortly. Okay. So these lines should be awesome because this vise is perfectly flat. We made flat lines below, so everything should be nice and straight once we Yeah, see that? Oh, shoot. Trying to hold all this together is difficult. Because I darn sure don't want it to fall and then come apart. Okay, we're just gonna let this chill right here. All right, you relax. Okay, while that's getting its mind right and it's drying out a little bit, we're gonna do step 94. And step 94 is to mix this up some JB Quick. You can use JB Weld, JB Quick, it doesn't matter. I just like this. If you have a favorite epoxy, I'm sure that would work fine. The only reason I use this is because I'm used to it, and I regret. It seems like the longer I do this, I kind of get stuck in my ways and I don't try new things, which is dumb. But then I know the outcome right away. And we're probably going to have to mix a bit more than, we're going to have to mix this twice. Okay. So I'm going to just set those over there with the lids off, because I think we'll be back to them soon. Okay, on this one, just because we can, we'll do it a little different. Since we're doing the roof cap different, we're going to go ahead and leave the window open over here, and kind of like that. I think we're all right. So if you look here, you can see the lines. Sorry about that. Can you see those lines? They look pretty decent. That's not too bad. That's going to work. I think that's going to work. I think we're going to be all right. Okay. This time around, I think I'm going to use masking tape. You can use electrical tape, you can use masking tape. Actually, I've never used masking tape on this project. Maybe I better not. We'll use our extra thick electrical tape. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. Just like on the practice model, I had the yellow tape. We're going to use the black tape for the same reason. Okay, we're going to cover that dude just like so. One thing I'm not going to do is wrap it tight. Don't want to wrap it real tight. And the reason for that is I want more JB Weld than I really need to get inside this thing, because we can sand it out if we need to. Okay, liking it. Right. Okay, let's get to JB Welding here. So machinery out where you can see it. So I'm going on the inside, and our tape acts as kind of a buffer. I'm just kind of working it on in there. I think when I pull the tape off, I'm going to have to put quite a bit more on, but that's okay. JB Weld is cheap. I'll probably have to put it on the outside. I've never really filled in a gap quite as big as I have here. Here, now you can actually see what I'm doing. Look at that. So I'm just filling in all sorts of gaps and holes and things. This may not be perfect, but that's all right. We're getting it, and that's what counts. We're making it, and we're moving forward. We can always body fill. That's not a problem. And a grinding wheel will make short work of any nastiness we have left over from our JB Weld. So if you can't figure it out now, I don't get too worked up. Oh, and it looks like, oh, nope, I didn't. I'm working on the driver's side. Got a little confused there where I was. Okay, we need to mix this up just a little bit more. No worries, because we've got some. I think my white's about gone. Luckily for me, I've got a brand new package up here. Oh, and it's even out. Good. I think I got a lot of my dad in me because he would go to great effort like this to get every last bit of this $5 kit of JB Weld. All right. I tell you, JB Weld is not pleasant to smell. I'm not fond at all. Wow, that stuff is just terrible smelling. Okay, gonna get up in there, fill in that exhaust hole. Then we've got a couple of air breather holes to fill in. We'll fill those in. That should be nice and gorgeous. Then we got this huge gap right up in here we're gonna fill in. Boy, I could use a little bit more of that action right there. Okay, I filled those in, those are good. Oh, got this one. So these are the front exhaust holes on our lead cab. You don't need those anymore. And maybe a splash more. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I think I can use the rest of this up in here. Oh my gosh, you should see this. I'm gonna have a disaster when I take the tape off. That's all right. I think I just closed up one of my windows. Lucky for me, I know how to fix that. I know a guy, he's got tools. Okay, I think we're done with the lead dog. Okay, let me clean up my knife. There we go. Okay. All right, people. That is that, I think. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. And we've been at it for just almost an hour. About 40 minutes here, so that's good. Let me see if there's any more comments. Let's see what we got here. If there's any other comments. Haven't seen you for a while, need to come up. Yes, you do. That'd be awesome. Rockhaven Custom says, I've never had any luck with JB Weld. Oh, crap. That's why I build with brass and solder everything. Yep. Yeah, that is, man, I tell you. Oh, shoot. I think I just a second. Oh, crap. I'm sorry, okay. Oh, unhidden. There we go. Unhidden. Gosh, sorry about that. Rockhaven, I unhide you. No. No. Sorry. Pushed the bad button. I got your message hidden. Sorry, Rockhaven. What I was going to say was, for any of you watching, Rockhaven, he loves to use brass, and it works well for him, and he gets on with it quite well. Beautiful. That works. I seem to, for some reason, JB Weld and I we know each other. We're in love. We work pretty well together, so I keep using it, and it works. It works for me. I've had pretty good luck. So as you guys, I don't know where any of you are as far as skill-wise, or even if you do any customizing. You got to, over time, you're going to develop your skill sets, and you're going to grow. and you're going to find new ideas from other people and blah, blah, blah. All this is going to work out well for you, and you're going to figure out what works for you. So, you know, there's some guys, you know, I know a guy, for the love of tractors. No. Looks like farm toys. He is all about scratch building out of brass. So, and there's like 2 or 3 of the guys that I know do a lot of brass work. They get on with it. It works for them, and you know, live long and prosper. Brilliant. Well done. And then other guys, they love to create styrene. Perfect. Keep doing it if that works for you. You know, I'm always up for a good challenge, though. You know, just like this. I didn't solder this, but you know, I did use a piece of brass instead of the tape and JB Weld project, which we used on this one. But I wanted to try 2 different things, so always you just got to do what works, right? And then try some new things just to see if you can do it, just for fun. That's why I do a lot of the things I do. I'm like, wonder if I can do that. And then, sure enough, you can. That's awesome. Okay. What else is there? Do you guys have any questions for me as we kind of begin wrapping things up? I don't think my JB Weld will be dry enough to pull tape just yet, so we will wait till next time to do that. Let me see, how tacky is that? Oh, well, wait. Maybe I can pull that. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pull tape just yet. We'll probably do it in 30 minutes, but not now. But what we'll do here on the next round is I'm going to take practice and keep working on it. And then this one we just put together. Next time I go live, we'll pull tape on it and we'll take it to the next steps, which will be a lot of body filling and sanding and boring crap. That's what it's going to be. Boring stuff, but that's all right. That's how we get from point A to B. Got to do the unfun stuff too. With that, guys, if you don't have any more questions or comments or anything, I'm going to let you go. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also, you can sign up for notifications. Please do. In the comment box, I'm going to put, or in the description, I will put my email list. Love to have you as a subscriber to my email list. So maybe that'll work for you. And I guess we will catch you next time. Take care.